everyone, welcome to this world tour finally! And I do have some things I want to mention at the end of the video, but for now, let's just jump straight into this tour. And this is where it all begins. This is where you spawn into the world. I added these lovely archways to kind of mark off this area, just to kind of set it aside as this is where you spawn in. I don't know, it wasn't for any reason in particular, but this is where we began in our world. And then we worked our way across this river and over into the main area there. I think the best thing to do here is to go through and just talk about everything in the order that was built. This was our first house ever made, and it still does not have a doorway. And yes, this was our starter house. You can walk in here and see there's not much in here except loads of pillager banners because I had nowhere else to put them. And it also has no door, which has been the cause of a couple creeper explosions falling off the roof until one day I finally got smart and covered the roof with string so that nothing could spawn up there. But it has been blown up a couple times in this past year. Next to that we have our little custom tree with our mine. I actually don't go in this mine very often, but let's go ahead and jump down here because it does have a little bit of an interior, kind of. Just for this short distance we have this little mine shaft. It would have been nice to actually expand it and do more in here, but maybe we could do something else in here. I don't know. It just looks kind of cool as it is anyway. And we've got dogs everywhere. I honestly don't even know how many I have because I have them sitting in such random locations. Then we have the first custom tree that I built in this world, which doesn't look too fantastic, I must say, because the trunk is a little bit too thick for the top of it. But I didn't want to adjust it just because it was the first custom tree. All of these trees, by the way, over here are custom as well. I have so many custom trees. And back in here is where we have our storage area. This is so cool, and our little cave. This looks really awesome in shaders too. If you guys remember that I love natural light, and see how much lighter it looks over there, how the light is much bluer, it's because I have all of these natural light sources coming through the cave. This is actually shining through the building above and down into this cave. So we've got 1, 2, I think 3 different sources of natural light in here, which does make the cave look a lot more realistic, I think anyway, especially with these shaders. And then back here is my first enchanting area. I say my first, it actually is my only enchanting area really, but I haven't really been back here much lately because once I've got mending and all the upgrades on all of my tools, I haven't really had a need to come back here again, but it's kind of sad. But this is our little enchanting room again with another skylight. This is still probably one of my favorite places, even though it was one of the earliest things I built. It's still one of my favorite places to walk through. Now let's go up here into the map room, which is right above the storage area. This looks so awesome because this floor has a layer of glass. Just look at the reflections of the lights. It almost gives it a polished look with these shaders. That is really neat. I'm gonna definitely do this more often. And then in the center we do have, ta-da, the map of the whole area. So it's not that big, but we are currently here, of course. We are gonna walk through everything, but it's not that much. And I love the views from this window too. You can like look out and see the orchard over there, and then you can see this really pathetic barn that we're gonna walk through in just a moment. But this is one of my favorite places in this whole world. And it looks 10 times better with shaders. So pretty. Then back here in this little corridor we do have our suggestions and challenges with the little statues to go along with each. This guy who's sitting here thinking about ideas, and this guy over here who's ready to face a challenge with his sword. Those are really hard to design at that scale, I'm not going to lie. And then here are our books, respectively. That was a lot of fun. That was really just to try to fill in the gaps when I didn't really have any ideas of what to do in this world, so I'm like, hey, just give me some suggestions or challenges. That's pretty much what that was. Let's go ahead and walk down here towards the barn. This glass floor, it feels like I'm walking on water. It's so strange. Let's go ahead and walk this way to this barn. This was not the best architectural achievement that I've ever done. I really do like the entrances, but the inside is still kind of plain. Over here we have some pigs and sheep that I was going to make a farm here and then I never did. I ended up putting my sheep farm somewhere else. This is John. There's his name. I don't want to look at his face, but he is named, and he has decided to live with these pigs. I'm not sure why. I don't know how to get him to come out, but he's gone in there and he has not left, so I guess he's just tending to the pigs. That's his job of choice. And over here, of course, we have our cows. We do not have an automatic cow farm, but we do have an automatic chicken cooker right here. It's probably one of the first farms I've ever made. Coming around behind the barn, we do have some more farms, such as our all-color wool farm, which is pretty standard, pretty self-explanatory. Don't need to walk through all of that. Our sugarcane farm, and just a bunch of random... This is actually my cactus farm. I know it's top tier, but that's my cactus farm. And then we've got my first beginner farm over here, which is pretty pathetic. I don't really use it much, but I'm just going to keep it there just because. And of course we have our elven statue overlooking the whole area. She was designed in creative, and it's something I need to start doing more often, is designing my stuff in creative beforehand, because it does save time. And of course we had to have a wandering trader make his appearance, because he always wants to make an appearance. Back along this road, right behind the map room, we do have a little orchard area and some fences. Nothing too spectacular up here. Most of these trees are not custom, except those little orchard ones are. We just got a few little plants along the path, and just a little tiny cottage, which isn't really fully complete on the inside. And this one was also designed in survival, so it's not the most efficient use of space. So on the inside, it's pretty bare bones. There's really not much in here. There's like a little bed, a little somewhat of a fireplace, but the ceiling could use some work. I feel like the ceiling could be filled in better. But yes, this is our little country cottage right by the orchard. And over here we've got our little rows of trees. Not too many trees, but it's enough for what they need. Let's make our way up to the mountain village now. We've got to come up these stairs, and we've got some more custom trees here and there, and got this little platform. Actually, before we get into the mountain village, let me go ahead and show off the portal tower, which is just a portal on a tower with a bunch of vines. This looks really pretty with shaders. Look at this. I could come out here and sit and just listen to the birds and all that stuff. Oh, this view is great of our village. Looking over the lake and the custom forest. It looks so nice. Let's come down here. This was an area that I had actually dug out. It was all custom dug into the mountain, and I feel like I was going to do more with it. I was going to expand it off in this direction, and then I never got around to it. There's so many things that I was thinking about doing and started doing, but didn't actually go through with, but that's just how I play this game, I guess. I always start stuff without actually finishing it. And this was another custom tree I did. This one has a lot of actual blocks used for the leaves, so stuff is still spawning up there occasionally. And then this is just a dead end that goes into some kind of cave. I was almost wondering if that should go somewhere, but I guess not. We've got this nice custom tree here though, which I don't really come down here very often. I need to do it more. In between the portal tower and the elven statue, we have Al standing on his post. He has been faithfully standing here, refusing to move, because he just loves looking at the view, and I don't blame him. The view is just fantastic from up there, isn't it, Al? He is also our alchemist, who owns the alchemy shop directly below us, and we'll be looking at that in just a moment, Al. But for now, we're gonna go check out this library. But this horse apparently cannot get enough of it, and don't you dare burn yourself. Why are you up there by the fire? You should get down. This is our library, and if you come in here, you just have these giant chandeliers in this big hallway of just books upon books upon books, as far as you can see on both sides. This was a little window I wasn't sure what to do with or how to end it, and it does open up and go to the outdoors. There are no physical doors here, it just opens up. At the very end of the library, I do have a little organizer for all of my enchanted books, so I have them all back here. I haven't had to come back here very often, but you can see they're all organized by letter, so I do have a few mending books left. That's nice. This was all from AFK fishing, which I probably have not done in so long. I don't remember the last time I did it. Exiting the library, you come out and you see the back of the mountain village, and we've got all of these houses embedded in the mountain. I say all of these houses when in reality this is actually 2 houses, yes, because most of these are actually connected as one building, but we do have a lot of windows to make it look like we have a lot of houses. So it's just to deceive you. And we've got this lovely garden area back here and a little puddle. I probably could have done more back here, and then another house. And this is coming through the back way of the village. We'll look at the front way too. But this is the little mountain village that goes right alongside this beautiful lake, and you cannot see the face in the lake up here, but we'll have to go down there and look at that too. As a matter of fact, let's go down there first, and then we can start walking through the village from this side, because there's just so many ways to get in all these places. So coming down here, there's another walkway that goes along the lake like this. There's a chicken in a boat, which I'm not sure why he likes to sit there, but yes, there is a chicken in a boat. We do have a few turtles in this lake too, although I can't see any right now, but the water is kind of murky with this shader pack. But yes, oh, here's a turtle. Looks like, oh, he is moving. He's just kind of stuck there? I'm not sure. We have several turtles and several fish in our lake. Over here is an actual map of the Lake Lady. This was a map that I had locked before I added the water. So before I added the water, this whole area looked like this. Look how empty it looks. There's no houses, no trees, no nothing. Wow, that looks so different than it does now. But I did want to make that just so you can actually see the face that's underneath the lake. And yep, that is where you are right here. And hello, Mr. Turtle. Not sure what you're doing. Coming back to the end of this cave, I have, oh, this is Al's shop, and Luna is guarding it. Thank you, Luna. So we've got our netherwort in here. This looks so cool. We just got netherwort planters and just a few bottles of potions. And then back here, it's like our little brewery setup. It's nothing that fancy. This kind of looks like a closet, honestly. But I do like these little planters that we have walking through here. And yes, this is Al's alchemy shop. And this is our mountain village. I don't have time to take you through all of the houses, but it does look so good. We've got our dragon up there. There are some houses up there where you have to take the back way around to get into them. And then there's one house here, one house here. There's only like 5 or 6 houses total. But anyway, you have to go in this back way if you want to get up to those houses. I know it's kind of out of its way and it's very inconvenient, but that is the only way I have to get back up there. And we have a few cats lying around. That's really nice. And I do like this little fence area, I don't know why, but the bridge looks really nice, the hanging lights. And then we've got this building which serves no purpose other than I've got some parrots in here and some music discs. That's kind of exciting. And what else? Oh, we need to come down here and go into the marketplace, which the marketplace is actually much busier than the rest of the village. It's kind of funny because there's not very many houses, yet there's so much in this marketplace. So we come through here, we've got our custom tree, another one, lots of llamas, lots of chickens in a cart crate, and some villagers, just a few. I think that's a farmer, and we've got, we should have had one in there unless he's somehow escaped. And then we've got one in here, and we got our sassy llama, we've got all these animals. And that's the marketplace area, which took me way too long to make, but there it is. Above the marketplace, we have the last buildings of the village that I have done, which is just like a town hall type area and a couple more houses back along there. And again, those are very inconvenient to get to because you actually have to walk through the town hall in order to get to them. I know, I'm such a great planner of my cities, but this is what it is. And then of course we have our forest dragon high above there. He's not as menacing as I was hoping he would be, but he's still pretty good. And that was a quick tour of the mountain village. I know I didn't walk through everything, but you can always walk through it yourself if you wanted to. I'm just not gonna have time to go through every little thing. And let's go to the other side of this lake to start at the custom forest on the other side, because I think this is a better side to start from. So we are right across from the portal. Let's walk through here. We've got all of these trees. This is my favorite little section right there, even though the walk is really short. It takes you through this tunnel into my bee farm area. We've got a couple of bee farms here. This one is the honeycomb farm, which is overloaded with honeycomb last I checked. And we've got our honey farm, which I think there's something messed up with the shaders and this block. It just looks very sticky. It's really interesting. So we've got our honey farm, honeycomb farm. Then you walk up this little path to the beekeeper's house, and we got some beekeepers, and And we got some bees everywhere. This looks so good with all the custom trees around. It looks so realistic. Then you walk down here, you get a nice view of the lake through these trees, and you get all these little hanging lanterns to mark the path through the forest. And here we go. Here's walking through the custom forest. We've got more lights, more trees, more ferns, more rocks. There's so many things. Coming back in here is where we've got our little fox sanctuary. Once you enter the gate, you will see more wildlife. Hopefully. I did breed a few more foxes, so now we have about 5 or 6 roaming around, although I'm not sure you're gonna see any. And coming to the end of this path, we have our iron farm, and to the left we have our little creeper farm, and we have this cat that I have not named. Before we move on, I did ask last time how many trees you thought were in this forest. Several of you responded, but here is the real amount. I know, that's a lot of trees, but actually not as many as I thought it would be. Coming to the top of this hill is where you see our new farm, which is really just for looks. Nothing really functional about it, it's just something nice to look at. We've got this little path that goes down the side. There you can see the custom forest from this end, which does again look really nice. A little field of sunflowers because I needed somewhere to put them, and then a couple of wheat fields and our cornfield up here, which is actually bamboo, but it does look a lot like corn, so that's really cool. And then we've got our little farmhouse and windmill. I was going to decorate this place more, but I never really got around to it. This is all I've managed to do. I just have like a little chopping block with some chopped wood and a little bit of farm area back there, but not much to look at. The windmill too has nothing inside of it. It's just looks like that. But in here, I did put interior in here. It's been a while since I've gone in here. Well, that's right, we put Dexter in here. That's the only dog that I have named. He is in here. This is a nice kitchen area. We do have a villager in here somewhere. Where is he? Where is that villager that I hear? Is he in this room? Oh, it's Sticky. This is Sticky. It was just, he was only named Sticky because it was the only name tag I had with me at the time. So Sticky lives here, and it looks like he's chosen the profession of librarian. How nice of him. He's not a farmer, only Sticky the librarian lives on a farm. That was a very rushed tour of my whole world. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will have this world available for download. But before I finish out this video, I thought I'd give some updates on the future of this series. I think it's going to be changing. I'm not sure exactly how much so. All I know is that I want to change the frequency and at least the style perhaps of these episodes. They might not come as episodes, I haven't quite decided, but at least the thumbnails will be changing and possibly the video style. I don't know for sure yet, but it's not going to be as frequent or as consistent as I have been doing. I have been playing in this world for a year now, which doesn't feel like it because I don't feel like I've done that much in this world, but there is a lot in here. It's just all packed in one place. This being my first real survival series, I was super nervous at the very start. Extremely nervous actually, where I was staring at my computer for over an hour before actually recording that first episode. And I don't know why these episodes are harder for me to make, but they are for some reason, and they just stress me out. I love playing survival, but for some reason, whenever I have to record myself and do a commentary on what I'm doing, I don't know why that stresses me out, but it does. And I can do it, it's just harder for me, or I have to build up the energy to actually do it. Anyway, all that to say, I think I just need to take a break from this series, or just change the way it works, because I do want to continue playing in this world, possibly in live streams, or just doing time lapses or something in this world. Just expect some kind of change to happen. Maybe you guys could give me some ideas. I was thinking possibly just doing time-lapse videos, but also live streaming on Twitch, because I have been streaming more on Twitch. That's just the first idea that came into my head, but who knows. For now, I'm just taking a short break from survival just because even though I didn't do it super often every other week, it was still very hard for me to just stay motivated to do it. So I might just take a short break, possibly live stream here and there, and we'll just see what happens. You all can give me suggestions too for what you think would be a good idea to continue this, but I've given you all of my ideas. I was planning on upgrading the world to 1.16, although I haven't had any brilliant build ideas or things we could do that incorporate all the new features of that, so that's always a possibility. We could either start a new series in 1.16 or just upgrade this world in 1.16, but just with new objectives. I'm just kind of running out of ideas, and that's why I need to take a break. Anyway, thanks for listening to me rambling on for the past few minutes. That's all I have for this video. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hopefully will see you again in another one of these. We will see. Goodbye.